And welcome back to the brand new Combine. We are joined by Justice and Justin. Double Just. No relation, indeed. And today we are going to be talking about the upcoming Ravens at Chiefs first game of the NFL season, the season opener. We'll dive into it right after this quick intro. So awesome.
Yeah, leave it all on the court. Leave it all on the field. You gotta give it 100. That's from your head to your heel. This is the time that you want it. It's time to jump in and run it. Let's get to jumping and running into securing the deal. This ain't pretend, it's for real. Turn up the temp just a little. With stakes so high,
he's gonna make the throw. It's a touchdown.
Good looking for him. Block throw as always. Mike Evans, he scores again.
Mix it up for the combine. Push it to the limit. How I give it at the combine. Bet I blow your mind when it's lights, camera, showtime.
And we are back. Justice and Justin are joining me. We are talking about the Ravens and the Chiefs. Like we mentioned earlier, Game 1 is coming up in Arrowhead. Firstly, before we go over who's going to win, initial thoughts.
I think the Chiefs are going to have a down year this year. I don't think
really?
I think Travis Kelce's going to have a down year. I don't understand why people think he's tight end one material anymore.
I mean, he's still good. I don't know tight end one. There are a few other names that I really like. And Justin?
Yeah, I think they fall off a bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kelsey's aging, Chris Jones is aging.
Yeah.
Mahomes is still going to have magic in his fingertips as always, but they're going to win the division. That's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's a weak division, but I do think they're not going to be as good. I also don't think they're going to repeat.
We also have a decent contender in the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh, but we'll get into that another episode. We're going to be running through it. So, diving in first, we're looking at matchups in this week 1 matchup, and the first of which is going to be the head coaches, Andy Reid, John Harbaugh. Fantastic coaching staff in both rooms, I should say, in both rooms. Who do you think is the better of the two?
I mean, I don't think it's close. I think it's Andy Reid. You know,
Reid?
It's funny because John Harbaugh comes from Andy Reid's coaching staff.
Yeah, he does.
He was the special teams coordinator for Andy Reid in Philadelphia.
Isn't it weird how all these coaching staffs branch? Like we had a Pete Carroll one for a little bit. We had the Shanahan branch.
John Gruden,
Bill
probably the
Belichick.
best one.
Yes.
Yeah, got Sean McVay.
Yes. But looking at this coming into it, Chiefs is Andy Reid, 258 to 144 is his overall record, 64-1 win percentage. He wrote that like a batting average. It's kind of weird. 26-16 playoff record, 3 rings. And there you have Jim Harbaugh's stat. Jim Harbaugh. No, sir, that's John Harbaugh. That is a
error.
Technological error, if I've ever seen one. But that is John Harbaugh. You can tell because he's more attractive. You can tell his stats aren't nearly as good, but at the same time, he just hasn't had the same amount of time in the league as Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you just said Andy Reid is probably the better of the coaches, but overall, for both of you, does any of these coaches have an upper hand on the other one, scheme-wise, playbook-wise, really anything?
Harbaugh's always been great with special teams. You know, he had probably the best punter in the league with Sam Cook.
Something like that, yeah. Oh, Sam Cook, yes.
Yeah, Sam Cook. And then Justin Tucker is arguably the greatest kicker of all time. So, coming from a special teams background in Philadelphia and then coming to Baltimore, he's always had great special teams. But Andy Reid, probably the best play caller in the NFL still.
Yeah. But, I mean, I have to agree with you this. Andy Reid is one of the best, if not the best, head coaches in the NFL at this point. Especially with the retirement of Bill Belichick.
On top of that, Andy Reid has beat Harbaugh 6 out of the 8 times they played.
Yeah.
So he definitely has his number in a number of ways.
Oh, yeah. And it may play out the same way this year, but as is with the coaches, we also have a repeating quarterback matchup that has happened a number of times. Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. Lamar being probably the NFL's speediest quarterback, definitely always picks up yards on his legs, which Mahomes can do, but Lamar's a different breed, especially with that. That's going to be a huge factor. But outside of Lamar's legs, are there any other factors that we should be looking for from either of these two guys?
You know, I think Zay Flowers could have a redemption game against Kansas City compared to what he did last year. Fumbling the football and whatnot. I'm really interested to see how the supporting groups work out. You know, Xavier Worthy is kind of replacing what she was in many ways. Travis Kelce still will have to prove he's still the best tight end in the game. But yeah, I think Lamar Jackson didn't really deserve to be the MVP last season. I think that was Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. It's a tough call. Nowadays, the MVP award has always just become a quarterback award. And even last episode, if you're still tuning in from last episode, we were just talking about quarterbacks always get MVPs. It just that's what happens. But looking at Mahomes' stats versus Lamar's stats, right? 3,600 yards for Lamar, 4,100 for Mahomes. But then besides that, Lamar takes cake in everything. More rushing yards, more touchdowns, less interceptions, and a higher passer rating. Is Mahomes coming into the season the same Mahomes as he was last year, or is there a chance he has a bounce back?
I remember seeing an ESPN segment where Gary Streisky said Dak Prescott was the best quarterback who has the best odds to beat Patrick Mahomes when it matters most. And they compared the stats, and Dak Prescott's virtually the same player in the last 50 starts or something.
That's crazy.
So, I wouldn't. Patrick Mahomes hasn't had the best supporting group in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But I think. I don't know. I haven't seen he's going to be able to get out of the slump that he's been in. They don't have that playmaker that they need, like Tyreek Hill or the younger Travis Kelce.
None of these two really have like a star-studded cast. I mean, both of them heavily reliant on their tight ends between
Very much
Travis
so.
Kelce and Mark Andrews. But I think I prefer Mahomes' because Mahomes' his receiving core has speed. They can flat out
Very
fly.
much so.
And we have Xavier Worthy, who could be potentially the new Tyreek Hill in Kansas City with how fast he can run.
I mean, it almost feels like Kansas City's playing Moneyball right now. Like they had a Tyreek Hill, but now they're trying to substitute Xavier Worthy's speed and Hollywood Brown's playmaking ability, Travis Kelce's ability to get open. They're trying to build a Tyreek Hill from a bunch of pieces.
And they're forced to play Moneyball because of what they did with Chris Jones and Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Paying them that much money.
Yes. But now that we're moving outside of players, we have one more matchup that we're going to go ahead and take a look at. We have the running back matchups. And this one's an interesting one because we have a new fresh face in the building in Baltimore. We have Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, Isaiah Pacheco, both of which had actually really good years last year, especially Pacheco in the last half of the year. And obviously Derrick Henry's always good. Number one question for either of you is going to be, will Derrick Henry suffer from Lamar Jackson's success? Or vice versa?
No, I think if anything, it's going to build on that.
Yeah.
Because either you run inside with him or you run outside with Lamar, and you can't cover both at the same time.
Yes.
I don't care how old Derrick Henry is, you cannot cover 6'3", 240 pounds of muscle. I don't care who you are, unless you're, Andre the Giant out there trying to defend Derrick Henry. He's going to run over you.
This is the most athletic quarterback Derrick Henry has had the opportunity to play with, outside of maybe Marcus Mariota.
Are you forgetting about speedy superstar Ryan Tannehill?
I might be forgetting about Ryan.
I think he might be. Ryan Tannehill's a crazy force.
Ryan Tannehill's the receiver.
He ran like a 4.19, didn't he, or something crazy?
I think so.
I don't know. Who's to say? But, anyways, coming into this game, right? I feel like Baltimore's lost a lot of pieces on defense. I think Pacheco could tear it up. And speaking of which, these are Baltimore's additions. We're going to dive into Kansas City's in a minute. But although they lost all those pieces, like we were mentioning, they only brought in 2 really big names that I can think of off the top of the head. Nate Wiggins, Derrick Henry. Obviously, we just mentioned Derrick Henry. He is going to be a force, always pretty much a top 5 running back in this league. Nate Wiggins was on a little injury, train, but prayers up. I love Nate Wiggins.
I'm not the biggest Nate Wiggins.
That's crazy work.
He follows really well in coverage.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's the best tackler necessarily.
I was going to say, I think Nate Wiggins is really one of the only rookie quarterbacks, maybe even second, like over the last couple of years of being drafted, one of the only ones that I would fully trust one-on-one in the slot to follow somebody. He's got crazy speed for a corner, which we saw in his 40 time, except rupture his Achilles or something when he did it? Yeah.
Not the best look.
No good, but he's still quick, and I still think he plays great coverage as we saw this time at Clemson. But moving back to our Chiefs and their additions here, we have Hollywood Brown, Kingsley Suamataia. I think I said that right. I really hope I said that right. Xavier Worthy, Juju Smith-Schuster, who stinks, but he's back on the roster.
I don't know if I would call Juju notable, but
he's an addition.
He's a name.
Yeah,
definitely a name.
Yeah, Juju Smith-Schuster is not going to add anything to this Kansas City offense. I mean, they had a hard time, getting him involved in New England. His knees are shot; they've been exploded beyond repair. Xavier Worthy, though, his speed is going to open up the field more for Patrick Mahomes, who's always so dangerous.
Yeah.
Juju's like what, wide receiver 4 now, behind Worthy, Brown, and Rice.
think. Can you hear?
I can.
Oh, I'm back. I can hear now. Never mind.
All right.
Mike's totally cut out for a second. I was trying to figure it out. We'll pick up right where we left off, and we'll just edit it out.
Yeah. Which is.
I don't remember.
Yeah, let's do top 10.
Yeah, I love doing top 10s. Okay. And finally, we're going to dive into our top 10 players of this matchup. This is top 10 being whether it's an impact for this game, whether it's career stats, whether it's what the future could be, how good they are in their respective position. We compiled everything. And big kudos to Elijah McClary, the producer over in the chair over here, the guy in the chair who made this graphic. Uber heat, very, very sleek and sexy. I have an inside source that I cannot name, but he is with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now, and he has told me that Joe Tryon Shoyinka's, 2-round things, his booty, is just like Elijah McClary, hard and straight muscle. Like this guy's peak. I love, Elijah McClary's great. Anyways, top 10 players. I love doing top 10s. Who's number 10? Throw it up. Justin Tucker.
Well, I know Justin disagrees with this.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Yeah.
Whoa.
I think he should be number 1.
He said.
Oh, I like that.
Because if you look at it, he is probably next to Adam Vinatieri.
I was gonna say
I would take Adam Vinatieri.
One of the best, either 1 or 2, or position-wise, for best kicker of all time. And you don't have anyone else in the game like that. Patrick Mahomes, and maybe he cemented himself top 5 in history. I'd still take Manning, Mahomes, or Manning, Marino,
yeah.
Brady,
I would
all of them over
completely
him,
agree with you.
But he's going to the Hall of Fame, and right now, like, between Kelsey, who's already like aged for his position, you place him anywhere in the field, he's going to score.
And even top 10 right now, you would say Justin Tucker is the best kicker in the league.
Yeah.
I'm
Right
taking
now,
Justin Tucker.
100% right now. I mean, I feel like the only name that was even considerable, and it wasn't even close, was Harrison Butker. But Justin Tucker is just built different. This is a kicker of all time.
Record holder, longest field goal.
Indeed. What was it, 66?
Yeah, I believe 66.
Which was broken or tied.
It wasn't even in
Yeah.
Denver. Usually every long field goal's in Denver.
Detroit in
but
the dome.
Detroit, Michigan, Dan Campbell. Did somebody say Dan Campbell? I love Dan Campbell. I'm going to make a note to mention him in every single show this year. It's going to be like one of those Mickey Mouse hidden Mickeys. They're going to be scattered around here, sprinkled in the combine, All right, but anyways, number 9. Tyler Linderbaum. Big boy center in Baltimore. Believe he came out of Iowa, if I'm not mistaken, when he was drafted.
Yeah, Iowa.
He is fantastic. One of the best
Great
offensive
center.
linemen in this game, I think.
Right. Not better than Creed Humphrey, but he's definitely up there. Definitely top 5 centers in the league right now. But I wouldn't have him over Justin Tucker. If I'm crafting a team, I'm almost picking Justin Tucker over Tyler Linderbaum.
I mean, honestly, I don't argue against that, but I think with Derrick Henry and with the inside run that he has, somebody has to set the edge. Otherwise, not that somebody can easily tackle Derrick Henry. That's just not going to happen. But you need somebody to set that edge and give him that hole that he needs to, really break like he likes to do. I think Linderbaum's that guy, right? I don't think anybody else on the Ravens team, although they have big names, I think Linderbaum's a guy that will really set a tone early.
He's great mobility. He can move outside of that center position better than anybody else too.
Great versatility. But you mentioned him earlier, and we have to throw him up. Our next number 8 is, in fact, Creed Humphrey.
Yeah.
He has to be above him.
Yeah, he's one of the best young centers in the league, and I remember watching coming out of the draft. I'm a Dolphins fan, but he was available, and the Dolphins did not pick him. I always thought that was a stupid move, and they've been struggling with center ever since. And here, Creed Humphrey is one of the best centers in the league, and he's pretty young. I think he's still on his rookie deal. He is.
Oh, he just got paid this year. What was it? 4 years, $84 million or something like that. Some crazy high number. It was ridiculous. I think highest paid center of all time. I think.
He deserves it. I mean, he's going to be good for a while.
Oh yeah, but speaking of which, I didn't know you were a Dolphins fan. I always get Nick Cohen's opinion because he's a Dolphins fan, but now we have another one. I get an alternative opinion. This year, y'all took Pork Chop Robinson, right, at 21. I really thought it was going to be JPJ or Zach Frazier at 21 for y'all. I really thought center was going to be the move. Obviously, you went out and got, I always blank on his name, the center from Tennessee. I'll remember it in the future. You went out and got him instead of drafting one. Was that the right move, do you think?
I think with the departure of Christian Wilkins,
Yeah.
we needed more pressure on the defensive line.
Yeah.
Obviously now we also signed Calais Campbell.
Yes.
But he is getting up there in age. You know, he's one of the older players in the league. So, but I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm happy with their offensive line. I obviously could be improved, but I think I'm not gonna say it was the right pick. I don't want to say it's the wrong pick, but the Dolphins rarely miss in the first round. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's.
You got a good point.
I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes something in the future.
Yeah. Switching off though, number 7. Trent McDuffie. I love Trent McDuffie. I feel like it's a name that a lot of people forget about. I mean, as we were crafting this list, you know, with the showrunners were in a FaceTime group chat. We're sitting there looking at this and we're going, who in the world belongs on this list? I think all 4 of us left out Trent McDuffie on the first initial, set of 5 or so. Like, it's just, he's a name that doesn't get, I feel like, the recognition that he deserves. Well, I mean, he's still a great corner.
I know. That's the thing about him. He has no interceptions. He's still considered one of the greatest corners.
You know why he gets no interceptions? Because they don't throw to him. Because they know he's a threat. Because he's dangerous.
Yeah.
Wakes up in the morning. What does he do? I don't know. I was going to say he eats nails for breakfast, but I said that last week. So I got to come up with something new.
And last year he kind of hid behind L'Jarius Sneed.
Yes.
And I think this year he has a chance to really go up above it. He's going to be topping he's going to be covering the top receiver.
Yeah, where Trent McDuffie strives is where I'm worried about with Nate Wiggins, because I think Nate Wiggins doesn't have that dog in him like Trent McDuffie does.
Oh, what kind of dog is it?
Oh, it's a German Shepherd.
Oh. Do you think Derrick Henry's got that bulldog in him? Like that nasty, disgusting spit everywhere.
Underbite, Rottweiler.
He's got that pit bull in him.
Oh, Pitbull?
He's a pit bull.
Like the bald Puerto Rican guy who sings, you know, what's that one song, Hotel Motel California?
No, I don't think that one, no.
I think that's a great song, though. I love that song. Number 6. Kyle Hamilton. Potentially the best defensive back in this game. I love Kyle Hamilton. The only safety who is better than Kyle Hamilton is Antoine Winfield Jr., and that is not biased. Kyle Hamilton's fantastic, though.
No Pro Bowl for Antoine Winfield Jr.
Yeah, I know. Snubbed. Yeah. Like, that's... It was when I saw the first Pro Bowl news and Antoine Winfield wasn't in it, I was like, all right. When they put out the backups and whoever they release, you know, and players go to the Super Bowl and all that, he'll show up. He didn't show up. They put Buda Baker in over Antoine Winfield. That was the most criminal thing. It's just ridiculous. Anyways, I'm going to go off on a tangent. Number 5. Roquan Smith. I may have just received breaking news, and I don't know whether it's true or not, but I was just shown a message in the other room that Sydney Sweeney has made it to campus and that she is here right now.
What?
I may be calling this early
What?
now.
No.
I may be calling...
No, it's not
Oh,
real.
you've lied to me, didn't you? Oh my
Deceit.
God. Get me all excited for Sydney Sweeney and then rip my heart out. Just tear me to shreds, why don't you? Oh my goodness.
How can you say wrap it up and then tell us that Sydney Sweeney's coming?
Dude, Sydney Sweeney posted a picture on her Instagram. I'm not going to say what it was. Okay, it was a thirst trap.
We all know
Oh
what it was. The
my
internet knows
Lord.
what it was.
Oh, the internet knows, dude. Like 45 million likes. Roquan Smith. He's gonna have to be going up against Travis Kelce. One-on-one matchups. Obviously, Travis Kelce is I don't want to give him props because I don't think he's the best tight end in the league, but he is the best in
not.
finding open space.
Yes.
He is so good at finding a hole in the center. At the same time, Roquan Smith is one of the best linebackers in the NFL. Will he be able to cover Travis Kelce?
Roquan Smith, he's more of a thumper, right? He's not really a
More
coverage guy.
so.
He's not like Fred Warner.
But he's he's definitely disciplined. So
Right.
if Travis Kelce's trying to sit and find out where he's going to go, I feel like Roquan will stay put, not
I think
worry.
If you want to talk about who's going to cover Travis Kelce, you got to talk about Kyle Hamilton. I think
Hamilton's so
Hamilton.
fantastic.
Kyle Hamilton's going to put Travis Kelce.
And Travis Kelce's a little
place.
slimmer, so maybe you got a point. But running through at number 4. Bang! Just like we mentioned him, Travis Kelce. Although I don't want to put him this high on this list, you kind of have to mention him. He's been such a force for so long. And although I think we all collectively agree he's on a decline, he's still one of the best players in the field.
He's still top 5.
He's still a difference maker.
Yeah.
He's still top 5 tight end in the league, and you really can't cover him. some sort of magic. I don't know what Taylor
That
Swift's
Andy
doing
Reid
to him,
magic.
but
Oh yeah.
he's magnificent. I honestly I can't think. Really, I think maybe George Kittle. I know it's probably this conversation between Kelsey and Kittle a little bit old, but
Yeah.
Kittle might be the only tight end I'd have over Kelsey, and even then, that's just because just for a 1-year rental.
Yeah.
I
do think though
Taylor
Taylor Swift is whispering sweet nothings into
Mm.
Travis Kelce's ear, singing him Fortnite as a lullaby. That's a song, by the way, not the game. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just peace of mind. But anyways, nobody cares. Number 3, Chris Jones. Like, ironically,
He looks so happy in that picture.
he does look so
Yeah,
happy.
he
He
does.
always looks so angry all the time.
Oh,
He does. He always looks like somebody like hurt his family members. Like somebody like ran over his dog or something.
what type of dog?
Oh, what type of dog does Chris Jones have? I feel like he'd be
What
one of
type
those
of dog?
weird, really tough guys that has like a poodle.
What type of dog did Chris Jones have that got run over that made him upset?
Ooh, I don't know. Something that had a lot of pain to it. Probably a Chihuahua.
Italian Greyhound.
Italian Greyhound. That's quite specific, but I wouldn't put it past him. I feel like Chris Jones might be like Mike Tyson, but he, instead of getting like a tiger, he'd be like a wallaby or something from Australia, and he'd order it on like Amazon Prime, 2-day shipping. I don't know. Chris Jones is a weird character to me.
Right. Do you think it's Christopher Jones or just Chris Jones?
What if it was like Christoph?
Christoph Jones?
That'd be kind of funny. Anyways, we already know who the 1 and 2 are. We're going to run through them. Number 2, LJ, Lamar Jackson. Obviously, we've already mentioned him before. One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But we'll open up number 1. We'll open a discussion. Number 1 is obviously going to be Patrick Mahomes. There's nobody else but Pat Mahomes. Now, number 1 and 2, is that list right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Is the whole list right or just 1 and 2?
Just 1 and 2.
This 1 and 2 is right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we needed to know. I think, a few names got snubbed. I was a big advocate for having Derrick Henry in that top 10, but I think there are too many good players
Yeah.
on this list. At the same time, Mark Andrews was in that conversation. Nick Bolton is a guy that I think gets snubbed on the Chiefs a lot, but
Oh, he's fast.
he is so fast. But, just to sum it up, there were a few players that had to get left off this list, but we wanted to make an honorable mention. Let them know, hey, you're there. Now, before we go ahead and close out this show, predictions, gentlemen. Justin, I'll start with you.
I'm gonna go with the bold one here. I think the Ravens win it.
Ooh!
I think the Ravens win it because I don't know where this trend has come up, but I've noticed the kickoff for every year,
Yep,
the reigning Super Bowl champ always opens up the game,
yep.
and they lose for some reason.
It's a good point.
I'm pretty sure. I think
The Bucks did it.
the
Lost to Dallas.
Chiefs have a really bad running defense, and I
Yep.
think with the combination of Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, they're gonna have a hard time. They're gonna be running all over the place. So I think I'm gonna take the Ravens in a close one. I'm gonna
I don't hate
in
it.
a close one. I think Justin Tucker
I don't hate it.
kicks the game-winning field goal.
I like that. Justice?
It's an Arrowhead, right?
Yes, it is an Arrowhead.
Give me the Chiefs.
Ooh! Ooh!
Yeah. I feel like we're gonna come away with this game.
I feel like this may, given time, this is going to turn to a give me Iguodala moment.
I hope not.
Yeah, but real quick, reasoning.
Patrick Mahomes.
I like that. Ooh, I don't know, Jim. That pass looked a little Mahomey right there. I'm going to stick with the Ravens on this one. I don't love it, but you do have a fair point, Justin. Super Bowl winners come back and lose week 1. It happens. The Bucs lost to the Cowboys. Last year, I think the Chiefs did the same. It just
Chiefs lost
happens.
to the Lions. Yeah,
Yes, I'm going to take Lamar Jackson here. I think they put out a statement game early, maybe not follow through. Maybe it's a bit of a slippery slope in finding their footing, but the Chiefs are going to stink week 1, as the Super Bowl winner always does. And before we close out, we have a special message. That's right, a special one. No drum roll, please. The new and improved Combine is officially on Spotify. Thank you. Somehow Nick Cohen, dipped his magic finger in honey or something and smeared it all over Spotify. And then all of a sudden, here it comes. New and improved Combine. Right up there like that. Like that, Different sound effects. I know we have a sound effect button. Very fun like that. Anyways, so it's on Spotify. So if you don't want to check it out on YouTube, you can also check it out on Spotify. And the video will be there as well. Justice Covert. Justin, what's your last name?
Barnes.
Justin Barnes, Justin Coburn. I like saying first and last name, just how I do things. Elijah McClary's over here in the producer chair. He definitely deserves his kudos, but he's over here cooking harder than Gordon Ramsay in Hell's Kitchen on a Thursday in the middle of, oh, there we go. He's cooking. Anyways, that is our show. Ravens, Chiefs from the boys, and we'll see how it plays, and we'll update everyone next week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.